the time is finally here. My 2025 in the bag, or how I'm going to put in the thumbnail, the in the bag of a YouTuber. Jordan from the future here. You're about to see my in the bag. I've never done this before, so let me know y'all suggestions on like what parts you like, what could be better, and everything else for in the future. So hope y'all enjoy. All right, so before we get started, huge shout out and thank you to Discology Disc Golf for partnering with me in this 2025 season. I'm rocking their Icon Series bag, and it's my favorite bag that I've ever used. As you can tell, it has an insane amount of storage. It's got this front pocket where you can actually put a phone if you want, a couple of drivers or utility discs like I use, this side pocket that I think is technically meant to be like maybe a cooler storage, but I put 5 more discs in it. These 2 upper deck putting compartments that holds 3 baseline putters, a couple of approach discs, and then a side pocket that holds water bottle, accessories, everything that you may need for the round. And then also, again, more storage. These huge side pockets that hold like windbreakers, jackets, whatever else you might need. Comfortable padding on the back and comfortable adjustable straps. Probably my favorite part of the bag is that they have this huge little space for patches. And I think patches kind of tell like your story in disc golf a lot of times. All right, without further waiting, let's get into in the bag. So starting off with my putting putters and my approach discs, I'm putting with the Prodigy PA3s. They just feel the best in the hand to me, and their stock 300 plastic is amazing and just breaks in and gets even better. And I've got like a Utah Hockey Club and a Arizona Coyotes NHL logos. I love hockey, and I definitely want to be in a good mood when I'm trying to putt, so these kind of help me do that. For my baseline putter, I have the Isaac Robinson Peak, and this disc just feels like a little bit lower profile PA3, and so I really want to break this disc in. And from what I understand, it's supposed to be a pretty neutral to slight over stable disc, and so I want to break in a good baseline putter that I can just shape whatever I want with. For the approach discs, I have the Prodigy A2. They're reliably stable. They feel almost like a distance driver or a fairway driver in the hand, which comes out like more smooth, I feel like, on forehands. A Zone OS. This is a misprint in their X Swirl plastic. I first saw Aaron Gossett throw one of these in New Zealand, and I had to have one. A Zone OS just does Zone OS things. Next up, all of my throwing putters. I know a lot of you are thinking that there's no need for 5 throwing putters, and I agree completely, but there is a reason why I have that many. The reason that I have 5 throwing putters, I just am really, really bad at throwing putters, and so I want to get better. And for me, logically, oh, there's a wasp. Ain't that something? Maybe this is like a nature appreciation moment. I would really appreciate if nature didn't sting me. First off, I have the Streamlined Range. It's like very, very similar to the Berg, but a little bit more understable and a little bit lower profile, so it feels better in the hand, in my opinion. Next up, the Glitch from MVP. The Glitch is probably one of the most popular discs in the world now. I really actually like this disc to like warm up with because it really gives me a good read. Next 2 that I have up is the Innova Star Pig and then the Discmania P3X. If any of you saw the video where I reviewed the Star Pig, that caused a huge argument in the comments because I got one that had a pop top, but I made it a puddle top, so now I love it. And these 2 discs have a little bit of overlap, but they're both low glide, reliably stable, and just really fun to throw on backhand. And the Pig also like to throw on forehand too, so it's pretty fun. And lastly, the Jeremy Colling Tempo. When I reviewed this disc for the first time, I immediately fell in love with it. It's really, really great. I can throw it on forehand, backhand, shot shape, however. It looks really, really cool. And he's got a really cool story behind the stamp too. We got the mid-ranges. I back 5 of them. Yes, you heard me right. I back 5 mid-ranges and 5 throwing putters. First off, we have the James Conrad MVP Detour. Just effortless distance, effortless hyzer flip, really effortless everything, but not so understable that it's just not usable. And I absolutely love this disc for just shaping up any type of line. Next up, I have the sleeper disc, bro, the DGA Rift. It is so glidey. It hyzer flips and just holds dead straight and goes so far and finishes straight, but it still can like hold up to like a flat throw. Such a good disc. Next up, the misprint Peach Pirate Ezra Crystal Buzz. I absolutely love this disc. It is a tick more stable than the Rift, but I can trust this disc flat and it's just going to hold straight and glide, and it's just a good solid run of buzzes, and everyone needs a buzz. It's the most popular disc in the world for a reason. And so for my last two, like overstable mid-ranges, I have the Misprint Malta. Probably one of my favorite mid-ranges I've ever thrown, and it took me forever to throw it, and I don't know why. It's not as overstable as the numbers would suggest. There's a reason why Ezra Robinson throws it so much. It's because it's just a great disc. And then lastly, the deflector. This thing is very overstable. But for me, I usually just love throwing it on forehands because it's board flat, feels great in the hand, and it goes further than your typical approach disc. So if there's something around that 280 mark, and I want to throw an approach style disc, I'm going to reach for this. Or if the wind's crazy, it's perfect for the wind. The fairway drivers. I have 5 fairway drivers too. I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern here. So for my most understable, the Axiom Crave. Absolutely love this disc. It just goes far without having to be thrown hard. The plastic feels amazing. This is actually like a misprint glow, so it's just super sick. It's your typical, it's a 6.5 technically, but just a typical understable fairway driver that works great for everything. Next up, I've got 2 Explorers, and they're both yellow, which if you know anything about me, it's kind of funny that I'm bagging this disc because I typically don't like Trilogy, and I really don't like the color yellow. And I bagged 2 Trilogy discs, or I guess more technically because of the peak. But both of these are yellow. And this recycled Explorer, it is just perfect kind of hyzer flip turn. My buddy's birthday trip, he wanted to go to Nashville, so me and him and our wives, we went out there for a trip, and I picked this up in a local store, and the first time I threw it, it literally went $375. Like, I was like, okay, now I have to back this. And then I recently found this Opto Ricky one. It's like one of the OG like numbering systems. Let me show you. Numbering system on it. It's just like those OG numbers, and the Opto plastic's a little bit more stable. Basically a really pushy, sort of neutral Explorer, and then a little bit more overstable, just because I love the way the Explorer feels. OG Ricky stamp is just cool. Last 2 fairways, we have the AB Sagara and the James Conrad Terra. The Sagara, it's just a little bit more torque resistant than Explorers that I've found, especially in the wind. The Explorers, a lot of times, if you get them going flat, they're going to have a lot of movement to the right. And the Sagara just doesn't want to do that. Even though the numbers would suggest it's more understable, I don't think it is. This thing is like a longer flying buzz. It's torque resistant, it fights out of Anheuser, and I love this disc. Did a review on it recently too, if you want to check that out. Lastly, the Terra from MVP, probably the most underrated disc at MVP. It's just good. It's overstable. It goes the same distance as every other one of these fairways, except it holds dead straight and it fights the wind way better. And that's why it's in the bag. Now we're going to look at my control drivers. I'm going to go through these pretty quick. First up, the Insanity from MVP, Axiom technically. Easy, effortless, hyzer flip, 350-ish distance. Especially, I like throwing this a lot on elevation changes where I don't want to try to pump a fairway very far. I can just take a control driver and it just works really good. Overstable non-speeds, I actually bag a Prodigy feedback and then a Innova Firebird. This feedback is, if you've never thrown one, a lot of people say they're similar to Firebirds, like specifically the Nate Sexton Firebirds. And that's pretty good comparison, I feel like. They flip up effortlessly, but have the integrity of a Firebird and more glide. Then this Firebird is actually, I think, Luster Champion plastic, and it's got the Eagles crossing stamp on it. So a little bit of nostalgia from when I played there. Great disc, very overstable run of Firebirds. The Streamline Boost, overstable 10-speed. For me, it's like a longer flying feedback. Just feels amazing because MVP, Streamline, Axiom, all their plastics great. So yeah, there's my control drivers. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, because pretty much all anybody cares about in disc golf is distance and distance drivers. So let's go over the distance drivers. All right, so technically I bag 8 distance drivers, but realistically, these are the main 6 that I use. Starting off with my most understable distance drivers, the MVP Wave and the iBlend Pharaoh. There's a little bit of overlap with these. The main difference is that the Wave is just going to have that, like, once it starts moving right, it's probably not going to fight back. So I can trust it without having to throw it that hard to just move right and go far. And in a tailwind, I can just rip on this disc flat and it's just going to still want to move right, but just push, and it's amazing. The Pharaoh is like the perfect complement to that. It has probably the most distance potential in my bag, honestly, with the least amount of effort. and it just has a lot of left to right movement, like just as much as the Wave, except it fights back more at the end where the Wave doesn't. So those are really like my tailwind discs, and if I just don't want to throw hard and still need something to go far. Then I have my favorite disc ever made, the Infinite Discs Emperor, and I bagged 3 of them. These things just go far. Like, why do you not bag the Emperor? First one, the blue one, the oldest one in my bag, weighs like 171, slight dome. It's a hyzer flip machine and just goes far. I can throw a big hyzer, slight hyzer, flat, and it's just gonna have a lot of movement and just go far. This red one with the astronaut stamp is 172, but it has a little bit more pop top dome to it. And this one I can trust in the wind a little bit more. And it also, I can throw it flat and really, really hard, and it's still gonna fight out of it with not as much like left to right movement as the blue one. Then the pink one, I think these pink blend Emperors were like a really good run or something. This one's max weight, so it's the most stable. It's breaking in really well, a good amount of dome, close to a pop top, and it holds up in the wind, still goes far. And these are really the discs that I lean on for my 400 plus foot shots. And it's just like the Hobblin Emperor is like a cheat code, man. It goes so far. Then lastly, the Latitude Rive. Found one used, and it was like 12 bucks and brand new. And I love this disc. It feels amazing on forehand. It is more stable than my Emperors. It's their Royal line, so it's amazing quality plastic, and it feels good, it flies good, and I can throw it for backhand or forehand and trust it in any wind. And it's not going 400 feet, don't get me wrong, but not yet. Supposedly these break in and just go really far too. So my last 2 distance drivers, and they are the Dimension and the Delirium from MVP and Axiom. And the reason why I don't count these like in my total distance drivers, I guess, is that they're really just kind of in the bag for fun. I think they look really cool. They have like, they're 14.5 speed. I don't think they're as overstable as you would think they are, but they feel absolutely amazing on forehands, and they're so fun to throw. They're not going much further than 375 for me, and I don't know why, but maybe just the advertising of a 14.5 speed just kind of makes them more fun to throw to me. And I'm really big on disc golf, like keeping it fun if it's not your career, or probably even if it is your career. And so this is one of those ways that I get to do that. All right, so that's my 2025 in the bag. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, love y'all. Stay snappy. See you in the next one.